As you guys get ready to do your reverse engineering project, I want to show you guys a feature in Onshape called Loft. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do a loft feature. The first way to do a loft feature is just lofting two simple shapes together. So we're going to go ahead and start a new sketch on the top surface. And I'm going to make it a real simple sketch. I'm going to do let's do a square of sorts. So I'll do a center point rectangle. And for this activity, I'll make it 2 by 2. Next thing is you have to have a shape to loft this to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an offset plane. So I'm going to do a plane that's offset from the one I just drew on, which was the top one. I'm going to go ahead and make that one offset, and we're going to go 6 inches. Just have some distance in between. And I'm going to create a sketch on that surface. So let's do a new sketch on the surface. And now that I have that sketch on that surface, I'm going to go ahead and do a different shape. I'm going to do a center point circle this time. I'm going to take the center point circle, and we're going to draw the center point circle. And I'm going to go ahead and just dimension the circle. And let's go ahead and make it 4 inches, just to have a dimension there. Have that circle done. And now just here comes the magic of loft. So I'm going to go over to the loft tool. And I click on loft tool, and then the profiles I want to loft together. Going to be that one and that one, and it's going to extrude those two shapes together. And so what you'll see is you'll see something that looks like this. So you can get some real interesting shapes that way. So that's just two simple shapes, lofting those together. You can also use the loft tool along with guidelines, and you can create guidelines using your spline tool. So let's go ahead and create another part studio. And here I have my other part studio coming up. This time I'm going to do a new sketch, and I'm going to go ahead and do a circle on this surface. And we're going to make this one, again, let's go 2 inches. Let's go 3 inches this time. And then I have to have a plane that's offset from that. So let's do an offset plane. Offset, and we're going to go 6 inches again. Let's go ahead 9 inches, just to make it look a little bit more skinny. This would be like if we were making like the handles of like a bicycle grips. So once I have that other circle made, I'm going to go ahead and create a circle on a sketch on that plane. So new sketch. Let's go ahead and turn it normal. And this time we're going to do another circle and make it a little bit bigger. So let's go 3.5. 3.5. Okay, so now I have my two circles placed. From here, I'm going to go ahead and edit these circles. So let's go ahead and edit sketch. Edit this sketch. You could have actually done this in the sketch. I just didn't. So we're going to go ahead and put a construction line from one side of the circle to the other across the diameter. This. Once we have that, we'll go ahead and finish that sketch. Just go back and edit sketch 1. And we're going to do the same thing, a construction line across the diameter of the circle. And let's go ahead and let's over constrain the sketch. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go ahead and delete this one just so we don't over constrain our sketches. And we still have the construction line there. Now I have my two construction lines. I have my two circles. I'm going to go ahead and draw some splines along the edges of those two circles. So let's go ahead and do a new sketch on that plane. Let's turn it so we're looking at it on the side. Keep in mind there's a circle here with 2 points on each side. You can also use your point tool. And now I'm going to draw a spline. And I'm going to do this first spline. I'm going to start at that point. And we just draw a shape that kind of looks like a grip to me. Okay, so I'm ending there. My escape button is not working for some reason. Again, one more time. Here, here. Okay, so I have my first spline. This other spline I'm just going to do in space just to show you, like, if you make a mistake and you don't actually, like, get it right the first time. What you can do is let's do this one more time. Here, And now, since this is not actually connected to that, I can actually go and use my coincident constraint. So I just take this point and do coincident with this point, and I'll take this point and do coincident with this point. Kind of changes the spline quite a bit. What you can do is you can go ahead and just move your points around a bit if you want. And of course, these are your guides. You can actually make it more curved or less curved based off of your guides, off of your handles, excuse me. Now, once you have that done, you can go ahead and finish that sketch out. And then I'm going to do my loft tool. This time I'm going to loft this to this. And if I don't use my guides, it's just going to give me a basic loft. But here I'm going to go guides and continuity. I'm going to click on this as a guide and this is a guide. And it's going to give me those as guides for my loft. And so you get this kind of grippy type shape.